Good afternoon and welcome to the preview for Happy Valley tomorrow night. It's raining here in Hong Kong, been a little bit on the solid side. Track's probably just going to have the slight edge off it, not as bad as last week. No jackpots to speak of, nothing there of any great interest. One race with unraced, so could be a quietish night. We'll have a much better look at them obviously tonight, late tonight, and then tomorrow depending on the track conditions. But at this stage, possibly the quartets look the main betting option. Race one's got a couple of unraced in there, so absolutely no interest there. We go to race two. Gold Tartini's racing really well at the moment, drawn well with Marira on it. There's not going to be any fancy price this horse, so but it's going to be hard to beat. If it runs up to its last two, it'll be hard to beat. Viva Guy, it's getting close. The barrier's absolutely no hope. Does run its best races here. The distance is a bit of a worry. The 1800, it's a bit weak, but I wouldn't rule it out completely, even on the place line. Mobile King, Purton goes on it. The wet track's going to help it, needs to sting out, and it's going to get that, so it's going to be right in the mix. So will Secretary of State. Now, Teton goes on to this. Its form reads awful. 17 for a place at the track, 12 for a place at the distance. But its last couple have been a little bit better than previous, so I wouldn't be ruling it out. I think Gold Tartini, 3 on top from 4 Mobile King, 7 Secretary of State, chances to 2 Full of Fun, 1 Champion Ranger, 6 Viva Guy. We go to race 3. Speedy Gonzalez is racing in terrific form. It's won 3 in a row. No reason to see why it can't win 4. It's going to be right in the mix. Key Witness should have won last start. He's murdered it. He rides it a bit better tomorrow. It's the one to beat. They look the main 2 chances. One of a Kind, it's racing well enough, but the rides have been really poor on it the last couple. They've gone for another jockey change, 3 kilo claim. It's got 51 kilos, so that brings it into the race. Seen Yatsen, Schnitzel Kid, Nordic One. There's a bit of speed here, so I'm giving Medic Swordsman a chance in a race like this. Marira goes on it. It could be storming home late. But I've got 1 on top from 6. Chances to 9, 5, 10, and then 12. Go to race 4. Rising Powers drawn well weighted. But can't win this. It's probably never going to win a race. Should get a beautiful run from barrier 1. It's the one to beat. Mazandran, yeah, they've gone for Douglas White. That's probably going to help the good barrier. Just hard to get a gauge on this horse. They tried to lead with it a couple of times. I don't think that's its go. I think if he takes a sit with it, it's better. Fortune Bravo, it's probably going to lead. It's a hard horse to catch. So beautiful run. It's the one to beat. 10 on top from 4. Chances to 11, 3, 7, and 8. We go to race 5. Robust momentum. It's racing well, reasonably well drawn. Should get a good run off the speed. It's going to be in the finish. The 1800, that's probably not going to be an issue for it. So it's going to be hard to beat. Super King Dragon. Its last run was awful. Prior to that, it was in good runs. It's got 52 kilos, so it's got to go in. Elaine Funstar, it's dropping down here. Barrier 1 with 57. It's reasonably well weighted in a race like this. Backbench Blues, there was a bit of money for this last start at big prices. It did nothing. So maybe forgive it the one run and throw it in your tickets if you're doing any business in this race. Spicy Siam, Happy Centenary, Oxford Charlie, these are all racing reasonably well. And the other one that I think has got its foot right on the till and's got a really good chance is number 9, Owner's Glory. This was a good run last start. If it runs up to that, it'll be in the finish here. I've got 8 on top from 12. Chance to 9, 1, 3, 4, 7 and 5. We go to race 6. Holmes Legend, it's racing well. Got a good draw again. It's going to be hard to beat. Good view. If they leave it alone, it can win. If something goes with it, it can't run anywhere. I think Invictus is the fly in the ointment and Formula 1 for it. Formula 1 was a terrific run last start. It was a very ordinary ride. Cost it the race. And actually that night cost us a decent pick 4. So if it had a run, got up and done what it should have done, it should have won. Not a lot of depth in the race. I think 3 clearly on top from 9. Chances to 10, 5, 6 and 8. Mega Champion from Barrier 1 with 49.5 must be included. Go to race 7. There's a few here that have got some ability and we might see something here. Trump, the barrier should cause it a few problems, so it's a bit hard to go for Trump and Flying Chaparral from the wide draws. Smart Ball, it's racing well, it's drawn well, must be included. Great Sky, Teton from a good draw, ran a terrific trial. If it runs up to that, it's going to be hard to beat in this. Redwood Baby's had 5 weeks off, got probably more upside than a lot of these. It's going to be hard to beat also. Based on barrier trials, track work and the draws, I finished up going for number 8, Smart Ball on top from 12, Redwood Baby. Then throw in 7, Great Sky and number 4, Royal Partner. I think I'll include it. And then behind them 2, 9. And we go to the last 1,000-metre race. Braveness, Dickie Lou from a wide gate. Always a great concern. Never know what this clown's going to do. So it's got terrific form here, track and distance, but him on it, that's a bit of a worry. Bundle of Joy was impressive winning first up. Marrera sticks. It's going to be hard to beat. Bundle of Love, it's racing well. Barrier 2 should get a beautiful run. Probably Beauty Sparkle, My Name is Bond and Carga Force. Charity Spirit from the good draw must go into the mix as well. I finished up by virtue of barrier draws, going for 1, Bundle of Love from 2, Beauty Sparkle, 11, Bundle of Joy, 6, Braveness, chances to 8, 9 and 4. It's not a bad card. There are a couple of races there that may present an opportunity to have a bet. Certainly there's no TT or 6-up jackpot, so we probably will steer clear of that. The quartets may be an interesting race 5 because it's such a tough race over the 1800. There might be a bit of value there. The last, not sure about the last. I think there's 3 or 4 that are going to be quite tight in the market and probably going to fill a couple of the holes, so there may not be much value there. We'll finalise what we're going to do tomorrow and obviously we'll post everything accordingly. Good luck if you're playing anywhere tomorrow. I've had a bit of a flick through. There's a couple in Australia if you're interested in poking your nose in around the place at Warwick Farm. Race in the last race at Warwick Farm, number 19 As Needed. This was a huge win first start in its life. Caught a heavy track, won by 6 lengths, could have won by probably double that. So I don't know whether we're going to run in this, but if it gets into the field, I wouldn't be taking any short prices about it. You'd want 7 or 8 or 10 to 1 to be betting something coming out of a maiden straight into town, but you'd have to include it. And in race 5 now, Madam Nash, terrific trial. Got 60 kilos. First up at 7 for nothing, but the interesting thing is he's given it a trial in January. He gave it a run on a good track where it's not that proficient. He then trialled it again a month later or 6 weeks later, and now he's got the conditions to suit the slow to heavy. So I'd be ignoring the 7 for 0 first up, because most of them are in totally unsuitable distances. Mile fresh, freshened up on the wet ground. If you can get a 7, 8, 10 or 12 to 1,